Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of AR Fitness and Athletics. Now, when I started developing the concept of this program, I had to think, where do I start? And so ultimately, the best choice is to start at the beginning. But when I say the beginning, I mean we're going to go way back to the beginning, tens of thousands of years, and I am talking about how we are designed as human beings. So humans are designed to be physically active, mentally active, and emotionally active. In the physical sense, we are designed to move frequently, with agility, with speed, with power, with flexibility. Mentally, we differ ourselves from pretty much every other animal in that we have cognitive thoughts. We have the ability to choose. We can actually choose what we're going to do. It's not just instincts. And emotionally, feelings of joy and sadness and affection, all these elements that make us human. We can also even call that a sense of spirituality. So we can use some of those terms interchangeably. The point is, all three of these components need to be present and in check for us to lead a optimal life. And what we are going to do is we are going to focus on the physical element, or the physicality of human beings being physically active. And you'll see throughout the presentations how this applies to everyone at all levels. Now, I want you to be very aware with regards to those three components: physical, mental, and emotional. There's no one component that is more important or greater than the other. All three of these things need to be dealt with. I'll use the term equally, but we're going to talk about balance in episodes to come. But all three of these things need to be there for a human being to live the optimal life. And we are going to tackle each one of those individually, but we are going to focus on the physical element. But we'll see how one relates to the other, and we need to keep this flow, this circle moving at all times in order for us to get through our daily lives and through life in general. So none of these components or elements, none of these can be eliminated, and none of these can be minimalized. So we can't push one aside and say, well, that part is less necessary for me or less important. They are all important. And how much place it takes in your life, well, we can figure that out according to each individual. But they do have to be there in order for us to be balanced as people, as human beings, and move forward. The reason why in this program I am going to focus and tackle the physical components of our life is because over the last 100 years or so, possibly longer, we have consciously found ways to minimize or decrease our level of activity. And some with justification. For instance, when you see cranes or big machineries or in factories, things that move a lot of weight or something that moves quicker multiple times, these are all things that we have developed so that we can make moving big objects possible or even more frequently. And so again, with justification, we've developed machinery and other items to make our lives a little bit easier, as well as the car. Now here's something that human beings have developed. Now a car is fantastic. It gets us long distances in a fairly quick amount of time and safely. At the same time, we also use it to get 400 meters to the corner store so we can get a quick cup of coffee. And this is where the faults come out, and this is where we've taught ourselves to shy away from physical activity. And this is where this program comes in, and I want to reintroduce that into everybody's psyche and everyone's daily lives, that we do need to be more physically active and consciously do so, and not be afraid to get up and walk to the corner store to get something done. And maybe we don't need a piece of machinery to make lifting something so much easier. We don't need to maybe dolly something 50 feet. Maybe we can just pick it up and bring it over there. A lot of times it's justified, and a lot of times it's just sheer laziness. So we're gonna attempt to reset, reprogram ourselves so that we can get back to being physical and reintroduce that component of our lives and become more physically active. And again, as things spin, more physical, more mental, more emotional, and we're just going to grease that wheel until we become better at being human. So the goal of this program is to reintroduce and reset physical activity into our daily lives. And even for those of you who are active and possibly even professional athletes, we're going to help create a physical, mental, and emotional foundation that is going to basically be there for you for the rest of your life. And when I talk about developing a foundation, this is something that is going to be there always and at every level of activity. So whether you're just starting off being active or whether you're a professional athlete, the foundation does not get rocked. It does not change. It needs to be there always. Much like a house, you first pour a foundation, making sure that what we're going to build on is strong enough and steady enough to last a lifetime. Once you build a house, you don't pull the foundation away. The house would collapse. That would be us. That would be our bodies. That would be our mind. That would be our emotions. We can't just lay a foundation and then pull it away after, or expect for it to not be repaired. And these are things that we're going to talk about in further episodes. But we're going to create a foundation for ourselves that will serve us the rest of our lives. And you'll see that once we do build this foundation and we always check back on it, you'll find that not only physically will your life be better, but it'll spread out to much more, many other parts of your life. And ultimately, that's what we want. We're all looking for happiness. And I think if we reintroduce physical activity into our lives, we'll see a big increase in that, because once again, I believe that's part of the human component that's been marginalized over the years. And we're going to show you and very carefully put that back into your lives. And if it's in your lives, we're going to make it even stronger. So stay tuned for further episodes. We're going to have a fun ride with all this. And I hope to see you soon in the second episode.